Secret Agent Thomas. It was a busy morning on Misty Island, and Bash, Dash and Ferdinand were working extra hard. Bash had to deliver some logs over to the sawmill. Ferdinand was just waiting for his next job. And as for Dash, well, let's say he was going to the steamworks to get repainted. "Wow," said Dash. "Oh, I can't wait to get repainted." And Ferdinand asks, "Well, Dash, what colours are you going to get repainted?" And then Dash says, "Well, Ferdinand, I'm going to get painted in rainbow colours." And then Bash says, "Well, Dash, you're going to be Rainbow Dash." "Yeah, I sure will be," said Dash happily. And then Dash raced around the bend, and then there was trouble. Dash hit a post and came off the tracks. James then came to the rescue in order to pull Dash back on the track. With all his might, James pulled Dash back onto the track. And then there was trouble. James's coupling snapped, rolled backwards, and he crashed over the track. "Oh no," said James. "What on earth am I going to do?" Meanwhile, at Tidmouth Sheds, it was the steam team's day off, and they were all having a little conversation together. "Well, everyone," said Nia, "do you like my new appearance in Trackmaster Push-Along?" "We sure do," said Thomas delightfully. "I hope I get a Trackmaster Push-Along design soon too," said Gordon. "Don't worry, Gordon," said Rebecca. "I'm sure you will soon." Just then, the Fat Controller rolled up in his car. "OK, now listen everybody," he said sternly. "James has just derailed at the Sodor Search and Rescue Centre. And the Sodor Search and Rescue team are flat out. Because for number one, Rocky has broken down. 2, the other engines say they can't be bothered today." "Well, that's just lazy, sir," said Percy. "It may be indeed," said the Fat Controller, "but I want one of you engines to go and help James." Oh, can I do it, sir?" asked Thomas hopefully. "Well, of course you can," said the Fat Controller, "but I hope you know what you're doing." "Don't worry, sir," said Thomas. "I know what I'm doing." And Thomas left the sheds immediately. Later, as Thomas had left the sheds, he thought to himself, "What on earth am I going to do to help save James?" he thought. "I dunno, Thomas," said his driver. "We'll just have to think of something." And then an idea flew into Thomas's funnel. "Wow, I've got it." And then Thomas went away and then came back as Secret Agent Thomas. "Oh yeah," said Thomas happily. "I'm gonna rescue James like this." And then Thomas puffed along the muddy, misty island track where he met Bash, Ferdinand and Dash. "Wow," said Bash. "You look absolutely stunning, Thomas." "That's right," said Ferdinand. "Of course I do, guys," said Thomas. "See you later." And then Thomas decided to help haul Dash back onto the track. And then Dash was loaded back on but Thomas had derailed himself. Soon, Thomas found a way to load himself back onto the track, and he descended happily down through the tunnel. Whoosh! And ran into Belle, who backed into Spencer, who backed into a new character called Louise, and oh no, the logs came off, and poor Harvey derailed and bashed into Lady. "Sorry, engines," said Thomas. "I just need to help save James." "Thank you, Thomas," said James happily. And so James was lifted back onto the track. He thanked Thomas for it happily, and Thomas went to go and get repainted back into his usual livery. Whistled Thomas happily, and he went back to Tidmouth Sheds. He happily reversed in, where the Fat Controller praised Thomas. "Thomas the Tank Engine," said the Fat Controller, "you did a good job today, helping James back on the track when he needed him help himself." "Oh, thank you, sir," beamed Thomas happily. Thomas felt like he was a really useful engine once again. And then the Fat Controller had another word. "Now, everyone, all of you get some sleep while the creator renews the Thomas and Friends The Online series for a second season." "Hurrah!" shouted all the engines, and one by one they all went happily to sleep. And everyone was as happy as could be.